guys, today we are doing a Mask Monday, which this is actually one of our subscribers' ideas, which is brilliant. I love it. And it just gives us a chance, because if you have watched our videos before, I love masking. Like, one of my favorite things to receive in a beauty box is a mask. There's something about it that it's that extra oomph that your skin really needs. So say my skin is dry, I'll use a mask that's going to combat dryness. Say my skin is breaking out, then I'll use like a clarifying charcoal mask, or something that's going to help my skin in whatever way it needs. And there's just something about your daily skincare routine that just doesn't get the job done.
Yeah.
So masks are one of my favorite things to just incorporate weekly, sometimes 2, 3, 4 times a week. Yeah. Sometimes I over mask and my skin hates me. It's like, stop, that's enough. But I just can't help it. So today we are going to talk about 2 different masks.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to do kind of a show and tell type thing. This is her idea, which again, great idea. So yeah, we're just going to kind of jump into it.
Okay. So we have 2 masks, and I enjoy masking too, but not quite
not to the
extent
level.
of her.
Not to the same level as me. Which I don't know where I really get that from, because I feel like it only started maybe a year or 2 ago.
Yeah, it's not been forever.
I've not just always loved to mask either, because I've never seen her really mask. I mean, maybe once a year. So and then I started receiving them and I started doing them. I'm like, why am I not doing this more often? So I've just grown to really love them.
We were so thrilled to get this as a PR?
Kind of, I guess. Someone did kindly send this to us.
Yes, so we were very thankful for that. Very, very thankful. This is a Natural Rapids Charcoal Clay Healing Mask, Active Luxury Facial. It's all natural, organic ingredients. I mean, it's got clay, activated charcoal, thyme. It's the clay is an organic bentonite clay, organic activated charcoal, organic thymus vulgaris, which is thyme leaf extract. Okay, not tested on the animals. We love sulfate free and paraben free, and it looks like it's made in the US in New York, Brooklyn, New York. It says to mix 1 teaspoon of the mask with 1 teaspoon of raw apple cider. I can't talk today. Raw apple cider vinegar, water, or aloe vera juice in a bowl and mix well. Add more mask or liquid as needed. So
we're actually going to kind of show you the first thing wrong with it. So here's the product. It's literally just powder, obviously, as you would expect. And we have let me show you, just so you know, this is 1 teaspoon. So we're going to mix. And I'm gonna measure this correctly.
Exact.
So that is
1 level teaspoon
into the bowl. And we have a different bowl of water. I'm gonna get a level teaspoon of water. It's I can't show you correctly without dumping it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the powder, here's the water. Dump.
So we have our powder and our water. So I'm just going to take a standard butter knife and just start to mix it around. So this is it. And as you can see, it's not mixed in. So let's add a little bit more water.
So that's the first thing. The measurements, typically you want, it's like baking a cake. If the measurements aren't right, the cake is not going to turn out right.
Right.
So I've got another teaspoon I'm not going to add the whole thing. I'm just going to try to do about half maybe. Does that sound?
Okay, so she's added another half a teaspoon because we don't want to make it, you know, too runny or anything like that.
But typically what you're used to with a mask is a bit more runny. And that way it just glides on your face.
Definitely more creamy.
Yeah. And then that way, yeah, it just glides on your face. And then it also, it's not too thick. It's not too gunky.
Harsh.
And that way it dries down quicker. Whereas if it's super thick, it's gonna take forever to dry.
Okay, so I have this mixed again with the 1.5 teaspoons of water.
And that definitely,
It still is like, it's
more of a paste.
It's more of a paste, but, and I actually, one of the times that I tried it, I tried to go ahead and I thought, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and try to put that on, maybe like that, and it was literally like scraping stuff on my
that
face.
is one thing that I noticed with this is it doesn't quite mix to a consistency where it's creamy.
It's spreadable.
It almost feels like there's little rocks almost in it, and it scrapes, and it doesn't feel very nice.
Scratches and everything.
It's not like a fun exfoliant type feeling. It's like you're actually rubbing rocks on your face.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't so much have that feeling putting it on, but that's about the consistency that I did the first time, and it didn't feel bad going on. It was just a little clumpier, and it just wasn't what I was used to.
And it just didn't like swipe on evenly.
Yeah.
It's like it left like a big clump, and you try to smooth it out, and it's almost like it sucked the moisture from your skin, is the way that I kind of felt. That it kind of was trying to take the moisture from my skin to be able to, you know, to, what am I trying
on?
To really smooth on more, you know, more evenly
I didn't necessarily
and stuff like that.
feel that. I just felt like it was just harder to really smooth on. It was more like you were putting a paste, like smoothing out a paste on your face. But then whenever I went to take it off, I feel like there's two different ways to take off a mask. There's one where you can put your head in the sink and kind of rinse it off until it's all off, or you can take a wet washcloth and kind of smooth it off that way. I'm the type that I put my face like down into the sink and just keep splashing until it's all off. And what are you laughing at?
You.
What?
Like, I mean, I know where this is going. If it's going the same way that my story would go.
I don't know that it is, but I feel like whenever I was like splashing it off, you kind of have to rub a little bit, and that's whenever you start really feeling the like pain of like there's something in here that is not comfortable, or something in here that's not right.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just that you have to mix and mix and mix and mix and mix for 15 to 20 minutes or whatever until
until everything is dissolved.
But I
like
feel
it
like
still feels like there's sand or something in it.
Like I feel like you can hear that there's like
like sandpaper kind of.
And that's not like normal. Like there's something in it that's just not a comfortable feeling, and I just can't bring myself to like recommend it necessarily.
I know, and
I don't feel like
so terrible about it.
Yeah, I don't feel like it did anything for my skin. I don't feel like my skin was just like magically cleared and magically like there was no benefits I feel like to using it, and that's obviously something you want from a face mask, is like you want to be able to see a clear difference,
right,
or feel a clear difference, and you just don't with that.
Yeah, I didn't really feel any of a difference, except my face felt kind of raw after. I mean, it just didn't feel. It didn't. It didn't feel smooth and supple, and you know, it didn't feel like that. It just felt like I had exfoliated too much or something. I mean, it really felt, you know, like.
And if you have really sensitive skin, which I have sensitive, I wouldn't say it's like extremely sensitive, but I do have sensitive skin where if I do exfoliate too much or too harshly, then my skin will break out because of that. So there are certain exfoliants that I cannot use. So I would be scared to use this on a like regular basis, just because I know that it does do a bit of that exfoliating, and not a good kind of exfoliating. So I don't know. What were you gonna say though? Whenever I was talking about splashing water in my face.
Oh, just that, I mean, it just doesn't come off. I mean, I did the same thing because sometimes I'll splash water in my face. Sometimes I'll get a washcloth that's like more damp, you know, like really wet, and I'll kind of, you know, gently get it off that way. I did the same thing. I put my head down in the sink and, you know, was splashing water. And then it was just like, it was still on there. And I just was like, oh my goodness, let's get this off of here.
Now, I'm over you. Like,
so,
okay.
Anyway,
enough.
I'm not sure how much water would actually be needed to get it to where it would be what I would consider necessarily a good consistency for a mask.
But I feel like that's one thing that on the instructions, if
I mean,
1 teaspoon and 1 teaspoon is the amount recommended, then that's the amount that you are gonna think is correct, and that's like after 1 teaspoon, it's still not enough water. You can literally see like the color of the powder.
Yeah,
like
it's not mixed in at all.
It darkens whenever it's wet, and there's still parts of the mask that aren't even covered in water. And so that's like, if you can't even give me the right directions, the right instructions, the right measurements.
We so wanted to love it.
Yeah.
We so wanted to love it. It just didn't.
Yeah, it's just not for us.
It didn't work out.
Sorry. But on a higher note, in my opinion, I don't even know your opinion on this, but this is the Ahava Hydration Cream Mask. There's 2 different ways that you can use it. So it says Hydration Cream Mask powered by Osmotor, I have no idea. Infuse and nourish thirsty skin with this active hydrating mask. A rich, creamy texture softens and smooths skin, providing intense hydration and comfort. Apply once or twice a week. Rinse after 3 to 5 minutes or leave all night. Approved for sensitive skin, allergy tested, paraben free. So I actually, the first time I used this, I read the directions and I was like, okay, leave on for 3 to 5 minutes or leave all night. So I'm thinking, if I leave it on all night, I'll probably get, like, it'll probably work better, right? So I left it on all night. I didn't put, like, a crazy amount just because I did not want it to be like the sleeping mask that we had tried, and it just, like, I did not sleep well because I'm, like, so aware that it was on my face, and so I didn't want to turn. I didn't want to, like, sometimes I even lay on my stomach, which is bad, but then, like, my face is, like, planted in the pillow, and you just can't do that when you have a sleeping mask on. So I basically put the same amount that I would put like my moisturizer on, and woke up the next morning and I definitely felt hydrated. I felt like my skin was really good, and like I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. Tried it a few days later, tried it for the 3 to 5 minutes, and I kind of like put like a mask, put more than like what would just sink into the skin, rinsed it off after about, I will say it was more than 5 minutes. It was probably closer to 7 to 10. Rinsed it off, and holy moly, that's the way to use it, because my skin was so moisturized, and like even after, like even as I was like, I pat dry my face, even as I was doing that, I could like feel through the towel almost, like just how like bouncy and just like moisturized and firm, and like all these things. I'm like, this is like a miracle for like dry skin, and I just love it. I love it, and I think the best way to use it is probably to use it for 3 to 5, 7, 10, however long. Use it like that. Put on the same amount that you put on a normal mask. That way it's not just like a tiny little layer. Like really kind of cake it on a little bit. Don't be afraid to really put it on. That's the way to use it for sure.
Okay, so The thing I really love about this is that, and this is kind of what our subscriber had said, it would be great to get the
younger generation,
yes, and then us that are
the more mature.
So anyway,
I'm gonna cry if you say you don't like it. Oh my gosh, really? Did you not?
So I used it the first night. I did sleep in it, and like she was saying, that sleep mask that we had tried back several weeks ago, oh my goodness, like neither one of us got any sleep because we were so aware that there was something on our face, and it just felt like, I don't know, it just felt like there was stuff on our face. This I used about the same amount as what I would do for my nightly moisturizer. It's kind of a little bit thicker than what my moisturizer is. Sure. So I did kind of, maybe smooth it out a little bit more so that it would go into the skin. I woke up the next morning and just felt, and I did feel hydrated. My skin felt really nice.
I could be completely wrong, but I almost feel like there's like a firming ness to it. Like there's some sort of something that, and you can tell when you put it on, even as just like kind of like a moisturizer, you can tell, like I could tell right in here, every time I talk or smile or whatever, I could tell that it was a little tight, and it wasn't like an uncomfortable tightness, but you could tell that it was there, you could feel it, but it still sunk in, but it burns. I swear it does.
So that was a few nights ago, and so I wanted to give it like that 3 to 5 minute test. So I did that today after I got out of the shower. I did this. I meant to do it before I got in the shower so I could, really, but I made sure my hair was out of the way, put it on, kind of lathered it on, made sure that I got plenty on, and kind of went around, doing some stuff before I washed it off. And so then I took a warm wash rag, gently took it off until it was all off, and I swear it felt like my skin was firmer. I was like, oh my gosh, it feels so bouncy, it feels so supple, it feels so awesome.
Yeah.
So I have to agree, this is pretty daggum awesome.
Yeah.
So
I really thought there for a second that you were like, I didn't like it. She liked it, but I didn't. Doesn't work for mature skin. But
no,
oh my gosh, it's really good.
I mean, you might even be able to tell, like, I feel like I even, like, some of the fine lines were plumped out or something. Not that I need to be any more plump than what I am. But I swear it looked like that I had fewer lines when I was putting my foundation and concealer and powder and stuff on. It seemed, I mean, I don't get it too close to the eyes, but just right under the eyes a little bit, it seemed like there were fewer fine lines.
So it seems like this episode, I guess we can,
yeah,
this series,
episode 1.
it seems like we both had pretty similar inputs and takes on both of these masks. So this one definitely worked for both of us, and this one definitely just did not. And that's the thing, like sometimes you're gonna
and
find
I'm
one
sure
that works.
At some point we'll find a mask that
one of us
loves
and one of us hates.
Yeah.
I for sure see that coming. For sure. I think this was fun though.
I know.
I enjoyed it.
I know. If you love
so much, whoever, I cannot remember who.
I wish we could remember your name. Shout out to you anyway. You know who you are.
For sure. But I think it's a brilliant idea, and I'm glad that we're doing this now.
So that was the first episode in the series. So stay tuned. On certain Mondays we will be doing this. I don't know if we can do it every single Monday.
No, definitely not. So far we're planning to do it, I think, every 4 weeks.
Something like that.
But also, if there are any masks that you know of that you want us to review, maybe they've been around forever, maybe they haven't. Maybe they're brand spanking new and you want us to try it out, then we can try to get our hands on it and do a little review for you.
Yeah. All right, that is going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll have 2 other videos linked right over here that we think you'll enjoy. And the subscribe button is right down below us. So until our next video,
Bye.